What's up guys, Ivan here and welcome to Bass Tone Tuesday. For today, we're gonna cover part 2 of why it's important to use overdrive or distortion on bass. In case you haven't watched part 1, I'm gonna put a link in the description below and also a card up here for you to check that out. And in the comment section of part 1, somebody mentioned that they didn't like to use overdrive because, if you use too much, it takes out some low end. And that is definitely true. If you use too much drive, you end up losing some low end content. But there are a couple of things that you can do, and one of them is called parallel processing. And that involves blending two signals and treating them a bit differently. One clean signal that's going to provide your low end, and the other one is going to provide your mids and treble, and that signal, you're going to distort it to bring out some more definition, some more presence in the mix, and also to glue the bass, drums, and the guitar together. That is a technique that's been done in studios for many years, and also by bass players such as John Entwistle of The Who. He would send his signal to a guitar amp and a bass amp and then blend those two together. And also Billy Sheehan. His bass has two pickups. One is just for the low end and the other one is for the mids and for the highs, and that signal, is really distorted, but when you blend those two together, it creates a wall of sound. Let's check out this video. If you listen to the bass on that song, which is the demo I did on the G&L LB100, I'm also gonna put a link in the description, a card here for you to check that out because it's a killer bass. But if you listen to the bass there, you wouldn't say that it's like massively distorted or anything, right? It sounds pretty clean. But for the bass to cut through the guitars and the drums, I actually blended two signals. I recorded a clean signal using my Noble DI, and then I pushed the input on my Mesa WD800 to get some grit, and I also did some extra EQ on that signal on Logic, on my DAW recording program. So we're taking a look at my screen right now, and I'm gonna show you two sections of the song so you can get a feel of the effect that the drive is having on the bass. And also I'm gonna show you the clean bass tone and also the drive tone and all the processing that I did on the signal. So I'm gonna play for you the first section. Right? So you can definitely hear the bass pretty clearly there. I'm gonna solo the clean signal. Now the drive. And as you can see, the drive signal is pretty weak on its own. And if I only use that, it's also pretty quiet in the mix, but if I only use that against all the other instruments, the bass is barely there, like gone actually. And if I only use the clean signal, you can definitely hear it there a bit better, but it's not like, not like cutting through the distorted guitars and the drums. And listen how it sounds once I blend in the drive. So as you can hear, it's definitely, slicing through those guitars and the drums once you add that drive. And let me play again just the clean track and then blend in the drive. And it's not like it is like massively distorted or like, it's not like a farty type of distortion, but it definitely adds a lot of definition to the sound. So let me show you what I did. Or first, let's jump to the auto section of the song. Let me look for that. Okay, so this is kind of like the chorus of the song. Just with a clean bass now, so without drive. Back in. Down. Back in. So as you can hear, it definitely adds a lot of definition, you know, it makes the bass really up front in the mix there. So let me show you now what I did to process those two signals. Here, there's only a high pass filter and a low pass filter. The high pass filter is at 63 Hz and the low pass filter is at 8.7K. That isn't doing a lot. And then I've just notched some frequencies that I find a bit disturbing. I'm just gonna play it without this EQ. I'm gonna turn everything off actually. So this is just the raw signal. Just makes it sound a bit nicer in my opinion. And I can turn this off as well. It is not that big of a difference. And here, all I have is a trimmer because I had to reduce my volume a little bit to make it work better with the rest of the plugins. I'm boosting a bit my input here on the console emulation. I'm boosting 4.2 or 4 decibels, sorry, at 80 Hz. That's all I'm doing here on the EQ. And here I'm also boosting a little bit of bass as well on 80 Hz and cutting some 300 Hz by 1.3 dB to reduce some muddiness. I can turn those two off to show you. It definitely makes it sound a bit fatter. This one. It makes it sound, you know, sound fuller, but there's not a lot of crazy EQing going on. It's just a little bit of bass and cutting some 300 Hz. Okay, so now let's check out the drive. Here's how it sounds with the EQ. Without. You might be thinking, okay, why would you want to do that to signal? You're destroying the signal, right? But if you blend those two together, with all the low end, it's gonna be way too much bass. So you gotta cut some of that. And I rolled off all this treble content because of what we're gonna do next. So here we have the mix rack also by Slate. Here also a trimmer just in case I'm not using it. And also the same plugin we had last time, the tube emulation preamp, and a compressor. As you hear, when you blend that drive signal beneath the clean bass, it definitely adds some more definition, some more presence, some more grit to the sound, and makes the bass, you know, not get buried within all the instruments. And it's not like the clean signal on its own is not present enough. It definitely, you know, has a supportive tone. It has also quite a bit of definition, but once you add that drive, the bass definitely slices there. And you can experiment with how much drive and also how much volume the drive signal is going to have to make the bass sound better in the overall mix. Of course, that song is you know, made for to demo the bass, so the bass has to be a bit louder than the rest of the stuff, but you can experiment with that. And before you ask yourself or, you know, think, okay, but that's just a production, a recording, you can definitely tweak a lot of stuff there. How can I do that live with my band? And thankfully nowadays there are a couple of brands that are doing drive pedals with a blend control. And the first one that comes to mind is Douglas Electronics from Finland. I think pretty much every drive pedal that's made by them has a blend control, so you can control the amount of grit that is going to be together with your clean signal. And also there are even now parallel processing pedals such as the Douglas X series. There's the X, the X7 and the X Ultra, and in there you do get control of your low end and the drive. Then you blend both together. Also the Tech 21 YYZ, and now there's the orange bass butler. So there are definitely options out there to get a similar result to what I just did, but in a live scenario with your band. Let me know in the comment section if you've experimented with parallel processing before, and also what kind of drive pedals do you own at the moment. Also, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay up to date with the content that's coming to your channel. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Take care.